How's everybody doing on this beautiful hump day that we call Wednesday? So tonight I got a special treat for all my foodies. So tonight I'm going to make my barbecue sauce. Also going to make some mashed potatoes with, actually going to be called cheesy bacon mashed potatoes. And I'm going to make some grilled chicken. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make the grilled chicken because I want the chicken to be marinated. So as always, make sure your knife is nice and sharpened. I already sharpened my knife. Get your chicken breast. I got a nice big chicken breast here. I'm gonna cut off all the fat. I'm gonna cut off all the stuff I don't want to cook with. Then I'm gonna slice this down the middle since this is a big piece of chicken. And I'm gonna just cut that fat off too. And that bloodline, we don't want that. I'm actually gonna cut this in the middle like this too. Make it a little easier. Slice it in the middle again. Can't have no chicken, you see. Now this I'm not going to thin out because we're grilling it. So if you have a little thicker piece and a thinner piece, you want to cook the thick pieces with thick pieces, cook the thin pieces with the thin pieces. Now this I'm going to cut down the middle again. I always like to cut these in half just because it's a little easier to work with when you're grilling them. And I'm going to use a cast iron grill. I love cast iron. The flavor is so much better. Actually this I'm going to cut again in the middle. Get a little thinner. That's okay. Yeah. This piece we could cut. Yeah. Next piece will cut again in the middle, just like that. Just thin them out a little bit. We don't want them too thick. Like this piece, we're going to cut again. Can't get them perfect all the time, but you want to get them as thin as you can. And this is just one piece of chicken breast. This pretty much will be enough for what I need to cook tonight. And then if I have leftovers, I have a nice lunch, can make a nice grilled chicken salad with this. I also preheated my oven to 400 for the bacon. You don't want that weight. And then, cook the bacon. So we're going to use fresh bacon and the mashed potatoes. So now we're going to make the marinade for the chicken. So to make my marinade, I'm going to use 2 limes. 1 lemon. Now I use 2 limes because limes are a lot smaller than the lemon, so that's why. Let's cut them in half. Now I have this, which is a juicer. It makes it a lot easier. And then I got my chicken in the bowl here. And we're just gonna squeeze the juice in there. I'm gonna add some lemon pepper, some fresh garlic, and a little chicken stock. And that's pretty much all I put in my my marinated chicken when I make grilled chicken. Very simple. Now I'm not going to add any salt because there's already salt. Actually, there's no salt in the chicken stock, so I may add a little salt to this since the chicken stock has no sodium. The most important thing is obviously salt and pepper. That's the basic ingredients you want it. Basic seasonings anytime you're cooking. You always want to make sure you have at least salt and pepper. Add just a little seasoning. It makes everything taste so much better. Just had a seed fall in there, so I just took the seed out. I'm going to wash my hands since I touched the chicken. We don't want to get salmonella, of course, contaminate anything. And Loy's lemon pepper. You can use any lemon pepper, really doesn't matter. Actually just gonna. There's probably about a tablespoon in there, so I'm just gonna use the rest of that up. I'm going to add some fresh garlic, which I have in here. Now this is fresh garlic and olive oil. anytime you cut a fresh garlic, you want to put in some type of oil so it stays fresh in the refrigerator. Now, it looks like that because olive oil, that's what happens to olive oil when you refrigerate it, so there's nothing wrong with that. And you know, I'm going to put about that much garlic. And actually, I'm going to add a little garlic, no, not garlic salt. I'm going to add a little regular salt, since there's, you know, probably about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of salt. Like I said, I really don't measure stuff out, you know. I just go with the flow, make it happen. And I'm actually going to add a little of this. This is a little seasoned mix I bought from Target. So we're going to add a little of that since I don't have a lot of the lemon pepper. And probably about a tablespoon of this too. So like I said, very simple. A little sea salt free original seasoned blend from Target. You got about a tablespoon of fresh garlic and olive oil. I'm going to add a little chicken stock, not much. Probably about a tablespoon, that's about it. You don't need much. This is just to get a little bit more juice so marinade comes out a little better so it doesn't dry out when you grill it. 1 lemon, 2 limes, that's it. Mix it all good and goody. Yeah, if you want to mix this all nice so everything gets nice and marinated. And I'm going to let that sit. While we let that sit, we're going to prepare the potatoes. Actually, we're going to prepare the barbecue sauce first because the barbecue sauce is going to take a while. Then we'll prepare the potatoes. How's everybody doing? So now we're going to make our barbecue sauce. So you want to get a medium saucepan about this size. We're going to do 3 cups of ketchup. I like to use Heinz ketchup. I also like to use this because this has no artificial sweeteners. So this actually uses regular sugar instead of corn syrup, because corn syrup is really not good for you. So I'm going to do 3 cups of this. Now I'm actually going to use a dry measuring cup to measure out the ketchup. So this is a dry measuring cup, and this is called a liquid measuring cup. Dry, liquid. I'm going to use a dry one for the ketchup. So that into the alright, I got a backup. I always have backup of ketchup. Especially Heinz, my favorite. So you just want to level out. So that's 2 cups. And then we're going to have a 3rd cup. Now you guys in for a real treat because I have never shared this recipe with anybody, so you're going to learn my secret to why my barbecue sauce is so good. So I got 3 cups in there. I'm gonna wash this out. So I always like to clean as I go so I don't have a million dishes when I'm done cooking. You know, it takes a little more time now, but at the end you can enjoy your dinner when you have a couple dishes to do. So now we're going to add the liquids. So we're going to do 3-4 cups water. Now I always use spring water because like I said, the friggin' water in Florida sucks. Oh, this is actually purified water from Target, which is real good. So you're going to do 3-4 cups of water. We're going to do 1/4 cup of teriyaki sauce. Now this is something I just found out that's new, which is awesome. It's gluten free and it's preservative free, so that means less chemicals, so a little better. Now I usually take that little top off that's in there, so it pours a lot easier. Then we're gonna do 1/4 cup of the teriyaki sauce. Now some people put Worcestershire sauce. I'm not a big fan of Worcestershire, so that's why I use the teriyaki instead of the Worcestershire. Now the next ingredient is usually apple cider, or some type of apple cider, some type of vinegar, you know. So actually, instead of me using apple cider vinegar, this is my secret ingredient, is Dr. Pepper. And it has to be the original Dr. Pepper, not that cheap stuff. Gotta be Dr. Pepper. And I'm gonna leave that in there. And we're gonna do about 8 ounces of Dr. Pepper, which is about 1/2 cup. Now you do want to pour this slowly so you don't get a lot of bubbles. I apologize, we're actually going to do a cup of Dr. Pepper, not 1/2 cup. Just looked at my recipe, it's actually a cup. Got my recipe book over there, you know, that's my secret book of all of my recipes that I've been making over the years. So we got our cup of Dr. Pepper, we're going to add that in there. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of dry mustard. Now since this is a little this is 1/2 teaspoon, so we're going to do 6 of these because 3 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon, so since I have 1/2 teaspoon, I'm going to do 6 of these. So we got this is very important too. This gives a lot of the flavor of the barbecue sauce. Then we're going to do 1 1/2 teaspoons of black pepper. So that's just going to be 3 of the 1/2 teaspoons. And we're going to do 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. This just gives it a little kick, not much, just a little bit. Cayenne pepper, you do have to be very careful because cayenne pepper can make your food very spicy, so be very careful when you're using cayenne pepper. And then I'm going to use a teaspoon of chili powder. And then we're going to do 1/4 cup of chopped onion. Some garlic too. Now if I could get this chili pepper out of the bottle, that would be very helpful. So I got my 1/4 cup of chopped onion. I have a food processor, so I put the onion in the food processor. Makes it a lot easier to chop it up. So we're just going to add that. And I do use a sweet Vidalia onion because it gives it a little sweet flavor. I love sweet Vidalia onions, those are my favorite onions. Then I'm probably going to add about 2 tablespoons of chopped garlic. And actually I'm just going to use the rest of this because that's about 2 tablespoons left in there. You know, you can use a little more garlic, you can use more onion if you like, you know, it depends on your taste. And then the final ingredient we're going to use is 3/4 cups of packed brown sugar. You could use light, you could use dark, doesn't really matter. I just cleaned my thing, but I gotta wipe it and dry it out. So my sugar. So I'm just using light brown sugar for tonight. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you use dark or light, whatever your little heart desires. And I like to put, you know, heaping. I usually make mine a little heaping. Now you might also need to add a little brown sugar depending on how thick or thin you want your sauce. So now this we're going to put on the oven. We're going to whisk it up. We're going to bring it to a boil. Then we're going to reduce it. I'm going to reduce it to a very little simmer for about an hour to an hour and a half. Now you can take it off before that, but I usually let it cook for about an hour to 2 hours, depending on how thick I want my sauce. How's everybody doing? So now I have my saucepan over here. Sorry if you can't see my face because I want you to see the saucepan. So put my temperature to about medium and take a wire whisk. And we're just going to whisk everything together so it's all nicey, mixy. And like I said, if it looks too liquidy, I just add more brown sugar to thicken it up. And like I said, you want to bring this to, you know, to about a boil, and then you want to simmer it down. Then you want to let that cook for about an hour to 2 hours, depending on how thick you want it. I'm telling you, once you have tried this barbecue sauce, you will not go back to bottled sauce. It is so much better. So that's what you want your barbecue sauce to look like. So everything's nice, mixy. I'm going to bring that to a boil, then let it simmer. Like I said, we're going to simmer for about an hour or two. And we'll start preparing the potatoes for the mashed potatoes. So now we're going to get our potatoes ready. So I'm going to use Russian potatoes, and I'm also going to be making dirty mashed potatoes. Now, what dirty mashed potatoes means to me, they're not dirty. So, you know, don't go there with your mind. So what pretty much dirty mashed potatoes is that you're just leaving the skins on. So again, we're going to have to clean these. So we're going to clean these under cold water with either a sponge that's brand new or a vegetable scrubber. So I'm going to use the same sponge I used the other day. This sponge I only use to clean vegetables with. So as you can see, that's all dirty. So you just want to get them all nicely cleany. Yeah, because pretty much we just want to get all the dirt off of it from the potatoes. So you don't want dirt in your mashed potatoes. So like I said, cold water, use either a vegetable scrubber or a sponge, you know. You want to use this side of the sponge. And I'm using 4 potatoes because that's what I got left. You know, I made some french fries the other day, made some baked potatoes. So tonight we're going to do some mashed potatoes. I do love potatoes, you know, I am part Irish. I can eat potatoes the whole day long. Mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, potato skins, home fresh hash browns, potato casserole, all kinds of potatoes. Who doesn't love potatoes? So now we got all the potatoes nice and clean. So now I'm going to have a pot. I'm going to get a knife again. I'm going to cut the potatoes up. And mashed potatoes are easy, so I'm going to cut the potato right down the middle. Just like that. Then I'm going to cut the potato like that in half again. And then just like that. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because this will make the potatoes cook faster in the stove when you cook them. So like I said, right down the middle. I'm going to do down the middle again. And then just some cubes. It's not rocket science. So just like I said, down the middle. In the middle again, and just cut it right up into some nice cubies. Now I'm not going to turn these on right away because I still have to cook the grilled chicken. The grilled chicken is going to take a while. any of the cubes don't have to be any precise size, you know. But you want to make sure they're equal so they cook all nice and equally when you're cooking them. So then we're going to add some water to that. And like I said, I live in Florida, so I'm mostly going to use either purified water or spring water because they use a lot of chemicals down here in Florida to treat the water. You can actually smell the sulfur in the water. And also where I live too, they use reclaimed water too, so we do not want to use reclaimed water. So my barbecue sauce is actually boiling, so I just lowered it down to the lowest temperature on the oven. And you just want to let that simmer for the next hour or so. Nosy too, when you're cooking, always make sure your handles are placed inward. You never want your handles placed outward like this. So that's how you can cause an accident, so your handles are always going to be placed inward. So that's the potatoes with the water. And I'll get back to you in a little bit. How's everybody doing? So I got my potatoes cooking over here. I just turned the heat on, add a little salt to that. Now you can add salt to this because you're not making pasta, so you don't need it to boil. Well, you need it to boil, but you don't need it to boil faster because you already have the potatoes in there, because you want to put the water in cold, salt, turn it on, and then you're probably going to let that cook for about 20 minutes, half an hour until nice and tender. So now over here, I have my cast iron pan. I put a little olive oil on it, you know, because that's the best I like to use when I'm cooking. Got my chicken here. It's nice and hot. I can feel the heat coming off of it. So I'm going to add my chicken to it. And see, as you can hear that nice sizzling sound. And then I'm going to add some of the juice that's in here so the chicken doesn't dry out. And then you want to cook each side so it's nice and grilled, it's cooked through. So I'll be able to get back to you in a couple of minutes when I flip the chicken over and just see what it looks like. So like I said, we got the potatoes in there. Added a little salt. Put it at about number 8 on the electric oven because we don't want it to boil too much. I got the barbecue sauce simmering. See how it's thickening up. You know, as you cook it longer, you simmer it longer, it's going to reduce, which is going to thicken it up. And we got the chicken grilling nicey over there. So let's flip the chicken, see how it looks. And see how it's still white. So you're going to flip that back because you want that to be nice and cookie. So I just flipped the chicken over and see, that's about the color you want. See how it's nice and brown on them? That's the color you want. So now, probably going to let that cook for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now, I also preheated my oven to 200 because the chicken is probably going to be done before the mashed potatoes. So just to keep the chicken nice and hot, you know, and it's not going to dry it out. And, you know, I'm going to probably add a little lemon juice, you know, as I put it in the oven so it stays nice and dry so we don't dry it out. So it stays nice and moist. We don't want it dry, we want it moist. So I'm going to add a little lemon. You know, I got a little pan over here to put the chicken in. So I just took the chicken off of the cast iron grill, cut it. See how it's nice and white in the middle? Nice and white, no pink. So I'm just going to throw that in the pan over here. See, I cut all my chicken to make sure that it's cooked thoroughly. Got my oven already preheated to 200. I'm just going to take a lemon slice like this. I'm going to take out the seed. I'm just going to squirt just a little lemon. Sorry, you can't see that. There we go. So I got my chicken in the pan. Just going to squirt a little lemon juice and then just going to throw that in the oven. Keep it nice and warm while the rest of the chicken cooks and the mashed potatoes cook. So I just took off the second batch of chicken. It's cooking a little faster since the cast iron grill is a lot hotter. As you can see, we got a much better sear on that. So I'm just going to cut, make sure it's nice and cookie, yep. Nice and white in the middle. So we're going to add this to the pan with the rest of the chicken. So my potatoes are nice and done now, so they're ready to get all nice and smashy. So we're gonna drain the potatoes in the colander. Then I'm gonna get another bowl, put those in another bowl. That's a big pot. Throw my potatoes in there. And how do you tell your potatoes are done? As long as they're fork tender. So see how they just smash up with the fork? So that's how you know they're done. So now I don't have an actual mashed potato smasher, whatever the hell you want to call it, whatever you call that thing. So I'm just going to use a ladle. Let's make them all nice smashy. I just want to get them all nice and smushy, nice smashy in there. I'm just going to keep smashing those until they get nice and smooth. So now all the potatoes are nice and smooth. And it's actually easier to use a fork, so if you don't have something to mash the potatoes up, just use a fork. So I'm going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter. So add about 4 tablespoons of butter we're going to add. Get more, you can less, all depends what you like. Now I also like to put a little heavy cream in my potatoes, makes them a little smoother. So you know, probably about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. I'm going to add our bacon. I'm going to mix all that up. We're going to add the cheese in a minute, so I want to get this all nicey, nicey before I add the cheese. I like my bacon a little big, so you could cut your bacon small if you like, but I like nice big chunks of bacon in my cheddar mashed potatoes. So see how everything is nice mixy. So I'm not too sure if my last little piece recorded, so I added about 4 tablespoons of butter. I added about 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. Added my bacon. And get it all nice mixy. So see, we got a little nice mixy there. And now we're just gonna shred the cheese in there. Now, like I said, I always shred my own cheese because I don't like to buy shredded cheese just because of all the chemicals that are in there. So, you know, it depends how much cheese you want. You know, I like cheese, so, you know, probably use about half the block of this cheese that I bought, about 4 ounces of shredded cheese. And we're just going to mix all that together too, pretty much until the cheese melts. You know, just mix that till all the cheese melts nicely, melty. So dinner's all nice and cooked. I got my grilled chicken, I got my mashed potato, my cheesy bacon mashed potatoes, got my homemade barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce all nice and done. I'm gonna add that to the top of the chicken. Give that chicken a little more flavor. And that's what the finished product looks like. You know, cooked for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Perfect. Let it cool down. Then once it cools down, I'm going to put that into the mason jar. Then we got our dinner over here. We got cheesy bacon mashed potatoes with some grilled chicken and a little homemade Jerry's barbecue sauce. So I hope that everybody enjoyed this video. Until the next one. And I appreciate you guys subscribing, sharing my channel. and a lot more good recipes coming from me.